Advantage is we no need admin here, right? We no need DB admin because database is already configured there. But disaster recovery, backup, security will be your job, right? Your job. Now you can understand people are putting $1 million, $1 billion on data mining. They're putting lot of money on data mining, right? As they are putting lot of money on mining, if your disaster recovery DR is not enabled or your DV is not secure, what will be the problem? Problem will be whatever the data you have, you will lose that data, right? Very easily. This is also looking little hectic actually. So what we will do? Shall we go with our own product? So what we are doing, we means Azure Cloud. Azure Cloud is providing DB services. How many we have? According to different data types. According to different use cases, we have DB services. How many total? 21 services, right? For SQL, NoSQL, caching, for each and everything, what Azure Cloud is doing. Azure Cloud is providing which service? DB service, database service. Now what you can do? So what you can do here, front end, back end and DB. So front end, back end, you can integrate directly with the DB service of Azure. Advantage, sir, why we need to use this, right? Advantage is here DB comes under PaaS, platform as a services, already pre-configured databases you will get. So admin overhead is zero, right? No admin overhead. Whatever disaster recovery inbuilt, security inbuilt, right? Availability inbuilt, redundancy inbuilt, SLAs 99.95 to 99.99%, right? So looking very nice, right? Neither you no need to configure. Now, first of all, see, neither you no need to configure, right? Neither admin overhead, just you need to operate directly. You need to sync data with the database. So that is the advantage of using this. Understand? So I gave you one brief overview. So like this, the way you need to answer to the interviewer. What I am saying, what is the DB services? DB service is nothing but the database services which Azure DevOps is Azure Cloud is providing. So we have around 21 services. So depend upon scenario to scenario, right? Depend on different. Please remember, database is not our job. Please remember, don't get into databases. Our job is to just configure DB and hand over this DB to the database team. Our job is not to handle something. Our job is not to handle the query. Our job is not to create the tables, right? Please don't misunderstand me here, right? You understood this, right? So shall I revise? Oh, I have another way actually. I'll do. For DB, we need admin to manage only here DB configuration with server be provide. Pawan, if I say to use, if I says, right? I'm my mean of saying admin is to configure, right? To set up, to install, right? For that. Okay. Understood, Pawan? My mean to that. Okay. So it doesn't mean admin to this. Okay. So, okay. Now please understand here, uh, what option we have. Now here I'm revising this Vinay. So now here what option we have? First option we have, we can choose on-premises environment to configure our database, right? We can configure front end back end and that front end back end data will be sent it to on-premises. Problem will be disaster recovery, security, admin overhead that you have to bear. Installation, configuration, disaster recovery, SLAs, availability. So these things you have to manage. Because of that, what is my second solution? Suggestion? Second suggestion is you can go with the virtual machine. You can install virtual machine. On the top of virtual machine, what you can do? You can go to the package manager. From the package manager, what you can do? You can configure DB database. You can install DB and you are allowed to use DB on a machine. But problem here is again admin overhead, right? SLAs, security, backup, disaster recovery. These you have to handle by yourself. So then we can go to self-managed images. Whatever the images we have, customized images of DB we can use. In this, admin overhead will be taken out, right? Some will be taken out. Then rest, each and everything will be same. So disaster recovery, you have to take care. SLAs and all, you have to take care. Because of that reason, we can use, if you don't want this hectic, so what you can do? You can use DV services provided by Azure DevOps. So how many services we have? Around 21 services we have, depend upon different data types. So now what is our job? What we will do here? It's already configured DV services we have. So we just need to integrate. I'm saying we need to integrate with our front end or back end. We need to integrate with our resources from wherever we want to mine our data. So that is what we need to understand. I have proper PPT for this one. PPT. So wherever I am using PPT here, I will upload that PPT. So what I'm doing here, I'll upload this PPT as well, because now here there are more takeaway from here. Configuration is easy, right? So understanding concept will be the key, right? So configuration is not difficult here, right? So now here, now what I'm saying here, now let's understand here. So what we have? Data in Azure. Advantage, Azure provide many data solution as a cloud service. Those are called cloud services. Cloud service is nothing but DB services provided by Azure. Now here, non-relational, relational or object store type. Fully managed services can be a part of Azure app. You can integrate that with the Azure app, or completely independently also you can use. Independent service also you can use. You can integrate with the front end back end, or either you can completely independently if you want to manage only data. So you can use that. We have various pricing model, right? So this is what. But now whenever I'm talking about data, right? Please remember, whenever I'm talking about data, major things what we have to look for: security, backup, availability, network isolation, encryption. Your network has to be in isolated environment, otherwise it will be unsecure. Backup, retention period, SLA, service level agreement, replication, right? Redundancy, if I says, disaster recovery, DR, right? Please remember, people will use abbreviation in your office. Okay, please remember this. Now, first solution, what we have? I have DB on a virtual machine. What I can do? I can use pre-configured image on my virtual machine, right? If I use this means, what will happen? If I use this, I'm allowed to use the database, right? Full flexibility, full control, but you have to take care. What do you have to take care? SLA, update, availability, security, backup, and many more things you have to manage, right? So this is what. But so what we can use? We can use Azure SQL. What Azure SQL? Managed SQL server on Azure, right? Advantage, work like another SQL server, right? Great. Now this is very important. Great compatibility with the on-premises SQL server. You have on-premises SQL server. Suppose you want to integrate both of them. It's possible, right? So this is what built-in security, built-in backup, availability, and many more. Right? This is built-in. We no need to think. Now here under Azure SQL, we have three model. Right? First we understood this way, right? See, first we understood what are the ways. Where is my epic pen? Please don't go for holiday. Yeah, he came. Right? Don't be serious. Enjoy your life. Okay. Make one substantial amount in 1 month. Then you will be little relaxed. What I'm saying here. First we understood this. That is okay. Now we are here. Here. Now under Azure SQL, if I have Azure DB service, we are talking about Azure SQL. Under Azure SQL, we have three model. Why three models, sir? What is the necessity? Let's understand. First one is Azure SQL. Here you have to remember many things, right? You need to read this PPT. Here configuration is very easy. It will take 5 minutes for us, but understanding this is a key. What we have? First one is Azure SQL. Second one is Elastic Pool. Third one is managed instance. Under what we have service called Azure SQL, we have three flavors distribution. Azure SQL, Elastic Pool, managed instance. People will ask you why you are using Azure Pool, Azure SQL. Why you are using Elastic Pool? What is the difference? Why you are using managed instances? You should be in a position to answer, right? Suresh, so what I'm saying, why we are using Azure SQL database? We are using Azure SQL database for a single database on a single server, right? Single database on a single server, automatic backup, update, and scaling. Good compatibility with the on-premises SQL server. Not all features are supported. Of course, you can think what with all with on-premises. Not all the feature are supported. Not all features are supported. So why we are using now here? People will ask you why you are using Azure SQL. We are using Azure SQL. Azure SQL will provide a single database on a single server. You have a single server. On the top of single server, you will have one single database. That's it. Right? Backup, security, availability, scalability, each and everything will be inbuilt. So this is what. Now here, what about here? Azure SQL database, security, IP firewall rule, service endpoint, SQL, Azure AD authentication, right? You can define RBAC, right? Here, TLS, why TLS? What is TLS? TLS will provide secure communication, right? So TLS is by default. Encryption, data encryption is by default, right? So this is what. But we said Azure SQL is providing backup. But how? They will ask you a question. You are saying Azure SQL will provide a backup. But they'll ask you how. You can say every week, full backup. Every day, you will get full backup. If I say differential, differential means partial. Every 12 to 24 hours. Then transactional log every 5 to 10 minutes, right? This will be backuped, right? Easy. So what about retention period? Regular backup is 7 to 35 days. By default, it will be 7. You can customize, right? Regular backup is 7 to long term backup can be 10 years, right? They are providing this. Then, what about availability? Backup is stored in, what is the meaning of this one? Yes, you will be allocated one primary data center plus along with primary data center you will be allocated one secondary data center. Your basic configuration, basic accessibility will be from primary data center. If primary data center is down, this is called failover to, if I say it's very technical, this is called failover to secondary data center. If this is failed, your failover will go to the secondary data center. Your secondary data center will not be operational until unless your primary data center is up and running. This is what, right? Geo replication. You understood geo replication? Then SLA will vary from 99.9% to 99.99% depend upon the tier and redundancy, right? So what are the takeaways as of now? Please remember those takeaways, right? So now here, let me go here. We understood backup, right? We understood backup, right? We understood availability, right? Then we need to understand. Now we want to use the now here. See, we have a server, right? I have a BM, I have a server. On the top of server, we are configuring database DB. We are configuring DB. Now, if you are choosing BM, you can go BM in a two ways. Now here another new terminology. This is new terminology. But is a serverless, sir? What is called server? Server is nothing but your virtual machine. Virtual machine will have what? RAM, CPU, disk space, right? That is your resources, right? What about serverless? Is it is it without server? Is it possible to run application without now here without server? If I says without server, understand this. What is serverless? What do you mean by serverless? Now we can configure now here what I'm saying. I have a DB. I have a DB. I can configure DB either on my virtual machine. This is my VM. Either on this serverless VM. Other either on serverless. I can configure in both ways. But you understood virtual machine, right? We have virtual machine. On the top of virtual machine, we are configuring DB. What about serverless? What about serverless? Please remember, serverless is nothing but it's on-demand delivery of resources. Always remember what we have. Whenever we need to run now here, whenever we need to run application, say I need to run the DB database. What I need this. Without this, whether serverless, whether normal compute resources, we will not be able to run our application resources. We will not be able to run DB, anything we won't be able to run. But in serverless, what they are doing, they are saying on-demand delivery of resources. Serverless is nothing but on-demand delivery of resources. Suresh, whenever you need, right? Nikhil, whenever you people need, so they will deliver what? These resources. Operating system, hardware resources, right? Here, compute power will be on a second basis, right? Suppose, suppose what you did, you had one file, you had a one file, okay? You had one folder of 50 GB. You have one folder of 50 GB. You need to process this folder within the database. To process this within your database, what do you need? You need these resources. These resources are on demand. In serverless, these resources are on demand. Example. In CPU, we are demanding. See what we are doing. We are taking on demand. Suppose we need how many second? We need 10 second to process this 50 GB of folder into DB. So how much processing power we need? For how long we need a processing power? For 10 second. I need inbuilt storage. I'm talking about. Suppose I need inbuilt storage of 100 GB. So it will take 100 GB of storage. So what is serverless? Serverless is nothing but on-demand delivery. It doesn't mean no server. That is not possible. Serverless is nothing but on-demand delivery of your resources. Understand? So this is what. Here, what we understood. So now we are taking two ways. If you are configuring server here, if you are if you are keeping server, if you are keeping this server, that is okay, right? You configured one VM on the top of VM, you configure DB, that is okay. This is okay, right? But problem here is, suppose you are not using DB, you are not using this server, you have to pay irrespective of use, right? But one thing is you can do a reservation for, if you do a BM reservation for 3 years, how much discount you will get? How much discount you will do? You will get if you are doing reservation for 1 year. If you are doing reservation for 3 year, how much discount you will get? Give me the number, please. Up to 60%, or exactly if I say 62%, right? For 3 and 40% for 1 year. Please remember this number, right? This we will get. But here, see, pay the actual use of B core processor RAM per second basis. You no need, don't take. So unnecessary costing. Why people are saying serverless now? So you no need to reserve your server for long duration of time because of that. What do you have? You have two ways. Either this, either that. Okay. So this is what we have. Then first option we understood Azure SQL. Why we are using Azure SQL? Single server, single database. Single server, single database. Right? What about Elastic Pool? What about Elastic Pool? Multiple database on single server. Right? But what can be the disadvantage? Will you recommend this? See now here you have multiple DB, multiple database. Now think in your laptop what you're doing. Parallelly you install many game. Is it possible to install many game in one laptop? Possible, right? Possible. In one laptop, is it possible to install many games? Possible. What will be the problem? Your system will lag. Your system will lag. And what will be the problem? Management will be very difficult, right? Management will be very difficult. Similar way, think like this. If you have multiple DB in single server, he's providing, Elastic Pool is providing. You can use, you are allowed to use. But problem will be, I will not recommend. Right? What when I will recommend? I will recommend in case of low average utilization. If you are using less normally, then it's okay. But if you are using parallelly all, I will not recommend because it will be very hectic, right? Management will be very, very difficult. And especially for infrequent spike, right? This has to be for infrequent spike here, right? So this is what, right? We understood. And third one is managed. This is okay. Managed instance, right? Nearly 100. Why we are using managed instance? Now, why we are using managed instance? Suppose you need to integrate. What do you need to integrate? You need to integrate on-premises DB with the Azure DB. So in this case, you can use this, right? Okay. Business model very, very close to on-premises, right? In this case, you no need to go to Elastic Pool, neither go to Azure SQL, right? This is what we need to understand. What problem here is no active Geo application, SLA is not there, sport built-in function, run CLR mode, no availability zone, no server STL, no hyperscale we have, right? For Azure SQL pricing, where we need to go? We need to go to the Azure pricing calculator. So what where we need to go? We need to go to the Azure pricing calculator here. From the Azure pricing calculator, we will get idea how much they are charging us, right? Under which it falls? Under database services. So what we are talking about? We are talking about here. Now see here we have Azure database for MySQL. It's okay. This is a cache DB for MariaDB. Azure database for this. Let's check for Azure SQL database. Okay. Let's check for Azure SQL database. Now how much it will cost? Of course, it will cost upon configuration. Different region. If you're using single database or Elastic Pool. Elastic Pool means single server, multiple databases. How much you prefer big core, right? So general purpose, right? General purpose, then compute here, right? According to it will vary. Okay, you can check pricing here, right? We understood what we understood. We have DB services provided by Azure. It is of three type: Azure SQL, Elastic Pool, managed instances. Azure SQL we will use in case of single server, single database. Elastic Pool, multiple server, one server, multiple database. Managed, if you want to integrate your database with on-premises, in that case we will use. Right? So this is what we need to understand. Okay. Pawan, we will set high and low CPU and RAM once it's in demand in how to high to increase. Yes, we will do. Shiv, as it is compatible with on-premises, can we have one DB on Azure and one on-premises? We have failover then. Yes, we can do that. But see, I won't recommend this, Shiv. because there will be a lot of difficulties here actually. Now see, as soon as you are doing failover to on premises, here problem will be, right? You are managing two different environment. Now think like this, you are managing two different environment, it will be very very expensive. Okay, it will be very very expensive. Why we need integration with on premises to, why we need integration with on premises to Azure here is in case of migration, that will be the only key. But if you want to use parallelly on premises for plus Azure here, it will be very very difficult, or costing will be very very high, because we need to manage two different parallel environment. So that is what, is it possible? Possible, but 100% compatibility is not there. So that is also another factor you need to think. Okay, so what is the difference between storage and DB? Jyoti, this question is for you people actually. This question is for you people. I want to listen on this, right? I want to listen. I want to see what is your understanding, because this question is very basic. So I want to understand what you people are saying, and I'll correct you people. So your knowledge will be very good. Understand? So Shib, as the compatibility, yes, I think, yeah. So yes, this is what. Can you unmute please? Rafiq, let me know later. So I'll unmute you. Rafiq, okay. So elastic pool means like DV sharing. Yes, Anish. Yes, unmute please. Rafiq, what? Raise your hand please. Whenever you want to see, whenever somebody want me to unmute, please raise your hand. Whenever I have right time, I will unmute you. Okay. In case of serverless, how pricing will be calculated on the minute basis, hourly basis. Minute basis, hourly basis. Right? Okay. Let's configure now. Okay, let me answer him what Rafiq is saying. Yes, Rafiq. Yeah, Rafiq, go on, please. Rafiq, your internet, Ledu. I think your voice is not okay. What about others? Others are able to hear his voice? I think we are not able to hear you. Pawan, no, I think, right? We are not able to hear you, right? Rafiq, we are not able to hear you. Okay. Fix your internet. Okay. Don't worry. And raise your hand, then I'll unmute you. Okay. So otherwise you can type as well. Okay. Because your voice is not coming. Okay, Rafiq. So now here, this is what we need to understand. So shall we configure the service? See, our job is to not work on a database. Please remember, this is the DB task. We are Azure DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer is nothing but our job is to deliver application to the end user. While delivering application to the end user, if you we need to integrate that application with what? DB. So DB we are configuring. In the future, we will configure front end and back end as well. Front end, back end, and DB. Our application is done. We are Azure DevOps engineers, right? Fair. So then what I need to do, I need to go to all services. Explanation will matter. Learn how to talk, right? Okay. So take out fear from your, so take out fear. So you will be. Now here, how many services we have? These are the different services we had. These are different services we have. And one more thing, whenever I'm talking about DB database, there is a government policies will come into picture, because we cannot send data outside country. There will be restriction to send the data. So according to that, configuration of services will be there. So whenever you are choosing any region, whenever you are choosing any region for your DB services, be careful, right? If I'm choosing Central Canada, Canada Central, right? This Khalistani separatist might come, they might make a problem, right? Understand? So this is what. So this is what I'm saying, right? We have this. So please remember, whenever you are choosing a region here, whenever we are choosing a region, you can take this. They are saying they'll take Himachal Pradesh. They need 100 generation to take Himachal Pradesh. So then what I'm saying here, Azure SQL database, right? What we have. Now here, what we have. Now here, I want to listen this. Whether this is, what he's saying here. Read this, please. Jyoti, read this, please. Rafiq, please read this. I want you people to answer this. What is this? two type of what we have. We can configure database on two ways, right? One on serverless, another on provisioned one, right? What this is? He is giving offer on which? He is giving offer on compute, right? What offer he is giving on? See, please remember, compute is nothing but on demand, right? Now here, some of you are confused here in compute. What we have, if I have a compute or serverless, right? I have my machine. For BM, what we need, Suresh? For BM, what we need? I need processor. I need RAM. I need hard disk. These things I need. But here in compute, what I will do? I will take those on demand. Whenever I need, I'll take. Whenever I no need, I'll no use. Right? But whenever you need means what? Rental will be on second basis. Rental will be on second basis, right? What they are saying? They are saying we are your friend. Azure is saying we are your friend. Right? So what they are saying? They are saying this. Now what they giving? B core second. How many they are giving for free? 1 lakh. GB of storage 32 and backup how much they are giving? They are giving 32. Right? If you want to use, you can use. Right? So this is what. Please understand the concept. It's not about clicking here and there. It's about understanding the concept. Right? This is what. Push yourself, please. I want you people to win. Please push yourself. Okay? Go out of the box. Right? Go out from your comfortable zone. Push yourself. Learn for 2 months. You should be in a position to talk about certain technology. Right? So if I can means you can. So what I'm saying, can I create a resource group? What I'm saying, can I write DBGRP? Right? Because these services will be integrated with the DevOps after. So you will get something very good environment. So you will understand how the flow is. Okay. So where to configure this? So this is what is a DB server? Can I write what is a DB database name? I am saying this DB is for my, I am writing this is DB. Okay. I am writing this DB class. Do we have server? We don't have. We need to create. I'll click on create. So what server? Can I write DB server? This is my DB server, right? What is saying? Your server name can contain only lowercase or uppercase letter. You are not allowed to use a special character. So it can contain only lowercase letter. Specified server name is already in use. We are okay now. What is saying? East US. No. Right? As I said, there will be restriction on. Right? So where we need to go to? Right? Location is Central India. Location is Central India. But how we are going to authenticate DB server now? First option, understand that. What enter ID will do? Under enter ID, there will be user. How many user? 10 user, 100 user, 10, 20 user, 30 user. Right? Or there will be groups. What they need? They need access of DB server. What we will do? We will define access on which level? On a enter ID level. Right? Enter ID level here. He's saying enter ID level, set up admin. We can set up on admin, right? That is possible. Or otherwise we can use username and password. But I'm not a big fan of username and password because this can be unsecure. This can be, but we can use, right? Or otherwise we can use a combination of both, more secure. What I have? I have this enter ID authentication. What I'll do? I'll do a set admin to whom I'm setting admin. So I have these many people here. I can send up admin for these many. What I'm doing? I'm setting admin for Mr. Arman. Right? I'm setting admin for Arman. Right? So like this. Okay. Or otherwise, if you want to select more than this, right? This is your group. If you want to assign to the group, what he said, then you have to define R back after this, right? I did select to Arman, right? Then what I did after doing this, what I did okay. We have a server here. Then what we got? This is our how much we got? General purpose, 2 core, 30 GB of storage, zone redundant. This is right. This is what we got. Now here, but one thing, what we have here? We have backup storage redundancy is here. But problem here is we don't have this because we are under fit here. Okay. Otherwise, you are allowed to change this. Networking, I'm putting for public endpoint. If you don't want to put for public point, no problem, right? So another firewall rule, you can customize encryption by default. As soon as somebody are entering into your DB, by default, his information will be encrypted. Easy. Security, don't worry. I can understand Saturday. I will not hold you for longer time. Please pay attention here. What we have, security. I said cloud is providing security, but how? We have Microsoft Defenders for SQL. Now what this Defender will do? This Microsoft Defender will provide unified security package including vulnerability assessment, advanced threat protection for your server. This who will provide? Microsoft Defender. You can enable. But please remember, 30 day, it's free. Then afterward, they will charge 15 USD per month for, please don't get overwhelmed by seeing configuration. They will provide you many things here. What to configure, that should be your customization. Don't get overwhelmed. If you get overwhelmed, your costing will be very, very high, right? Don't click unwanted resources. Don't configure unwanted resources. This is what unwanted means what? So which is not required. That is advantage for us, right? So this is what. So then what I'm doing, I am starting with not now. It's okay. So ledger services I can use. While ledger services, ledger cryptographically verified integrity of your data and detect any tampering. If somebody will do tampering into your data, it will detect. Who will detect? This ledger services will detect. It will record the statement. It will let you know somebody did tampering into your data, right? So very secure. Server identity. So these type of things you can configure here. And always encrypted. Your data will be always encrypted here. If somebody will try to sniff, he need to cross through encryption. Then existing data, none, sample or backup. You can integrate later as well. I'll show you how to integrate later. Database collection. So this is what maintenance window is by default from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. This is by default. If I'll go to the, now what I'm doing here, see, this is what I configured. So what I'll do, I'll click on create. What I'm creating DB service for our application. We are configuring DB. It's validating here. It will take some time. What about you people? Instead of creating server, can we use the BM that we have created before? Arman, if you are creating that BM, what about disaster recovery, scale, what about backups, SLAs, redundancy? Those will not be there. Those will not be there. We cannot integrate our previous existed machine. This package is inbuilt package within the this. Akash, for SQL DB, the underlying host will be Windows and configuration of host will be default. No, Akash. See, underline host will be window and configuration of host will be by default. What do you mean by host? Are you talking about servers? Are you talking about a server? Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, Akash, you are correct. Your understanding is correct. Now let's show that. Yeah, Sharad, go on.
Sir, 2 years back, I will be installing Ubuntu in my laptop, but I am forgetting the password. That how we'll get it? Which command?
Means you installed Ubuntu in your system.
Yes, 2 years back.
Means you installed virtual BM box, right? Virtual
Virtual box,
box.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. You need to
Yes.
virtual box. Then you do what? Just remove the image. What you need to? If you forgot the password, just remove the image. Okay. Remove the image and just configure in new way. And moreover, 2 year back and now version will be different. Okay. Version of your OS will be different. If your OS version will be different means so you can configure
How
in new way.
how the remove image?
Remove image means here. I hope so. I have not uninstalled VirtualBox. Just
No,
a
no,
second.
I'm
No,
not
no,
even
no. Just
uninstall.
I'm no. I'm talking about myself. Just a second. I have VirtualBox here, so I can show you how can. I think I removed that VirtualBox. So now, if you have a VirtualBox here, can you see here something like this? It will be over. Okay. If you click on that
Yes, yes,
VirtualBox, if you
yes.
click on VirtualBox, you'll see their image. Remove that. Add
Yes.
another image.
Okay.
Okay, here it will be. This is not this is
Yes,
doc,
yes, yes.
but it will be something like this here. Okay, you can remove that image, you can install, you can configure that
Okay.
image here. So what was the necessity? What is the necessity now, Sharad? What are you learning with that?
Sir, yesterday I will practicing the first session because in the job not मतलब मुझे टाइम नहीं मिला but
Mm-hmm.
I will practicing and then he needs a password.
Okay, okay.
That's why I'm
Go
stuck.
on, keep going. Okay. So now what do we have? We have this. Okay. So now we have this here, right? So as we have this here, so as we have this, what we have database. So our job is done. But in the future, we will integrate with this with the what? But let's see if we need to connect, can we connect? Yes, what we need to do? We can use Visual Studio, we can use Data Studio. Go to the Data Studio, right? Download Azure Data Studio. What we can do? We can download this, right? Download and install Azure Data Studio. Scroll down here. Sir, I'm using Mac. I'm using Linux. I'm using Windows, right? This is what, right? What do we need to do? You need to download as according to your system. Like this, my 1 hour of teaching will be your 3 hours of learning. Okay, so put some time. I accept the agreement. Why? Because we are creating environment Azure Data Studio, right? So this is what I want you people to answer. I want you people to answer how you are answering. That is the key. Suppose you learned one liner, two liner, three liner, four liner. How you are explaining that understanding? That is what I wanted to see. Because that is where we lag. Nobody is focusing on that. We are very talented actually. Concept wise, we are okay. We will explore. But you should be in a position to deliver that content to the end user. Then only I will understand you people have a knowledge. Otherwise, I'm not a god, right? I'll not go to your brain what you knows, right? So build this habit. Slowly, 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 slowly. Start talking, right? So we are installing Data Studio. Why? So we can connect DV locally. So whatever the database we want, whatever the data we want to configure, we can configure, right? Easy. So this is what we can do, right? Suresh is thinking where I came. Suresh, now here, right? So what I'm doing, this is what, delete this. This is old one. So what I have, can you see here, connect, new connection? What is asking? Is asking SQL type. Server, right? Server name is asking. Do we have server name? Yes, right? Yes. Server name, copy this and paste this server name. What is our authentication type? Enter ID, right? Our is enter ID, and please change your email ID. Actually, you need to add account. Need to add account. Which account you need to add? You need to add account from this. What he said? Your account was added successfully. If your account is added successfully here means what is your DB? It will load automatically. Now here, see, he's giving this. Click on OK, right? Encryption is mandatory, right? If you want to add the server group, you can add. Name is optional. Connect. It has to be online. Hand over this to the database team. See what we did. If I go here under this, what do we have? Our name of server is DB class, right? If I click on here, your database will be synced. Your data will be synced here, right? Hand over this to the DB team, as I said, right? So this is how we will configure DB. So in the future, what we will do? We will create front end backend for application. We will integrate that front end backend with our Azure SQL. Our data will be saved where? Within the Azure SQL. That will be your front end backend and DB application. Right? Easy. So like this, you can configure by using username and password also. Now see here, what was our authentication method? Our authentication was enter ID. You can do a SQL user now here, username and password. There, while configuring, you can enter username and password also. Easy. So this is what we need to understand. Akash underline host. Yes. Yes, sir. Sharad. How to configure Oracle DB? How to configure Oracle DB? Are we providing any services for Oracle DB? Right? Are we providing any services for Oracle DB? Where you need to go? Need to go to where? Database services. Right? See here. Are we providing Oracle DB? Right? So you can try only one. Don't get into databases. Our job is not to configure the databases, right? These are different that type of data service services. Okay. This will come under ADF, Azure Data Factory. Okay. This comes under Azure Data Factory. But please remember, if you're talking about database, right? So you need to learn databases then, right? Your process will start differently. Okay. Sir, are you taking mock interview? Yes, yes, Bebab. I'll take mock interviews. Okay. Okay, sir, instead of Data Studio, can we go to the SSMS, right? Or the portal? You can use any environment, right? You can use any environment. But you should just know how to connect. Install local laptop, right? Yes, of course. Arman. So till date, we have learned three major services. One is BM, second is networking. Today we learned DM, DV, and yes. Yeah. No, no. BM, networking, storage, and database. And enter ID. Admin, that is, right? Admin. Okay. Out of topic though, just wanted to know till when we will have these sessions, sir. I need to adjust my shift accordingly. Means just wanted to know till when we will have these sessions, sir. Means I'm confused, a little confused, Shirisha. Out of topic though, just wanted to know till when we will have these sessions, sir. I need to adjust my shift accordingly. Session means training classes, 2 month. 2 month. How when we started? J- June 4th, right? So fourth means 2 month. 2 month. Strictly 2 months, Shirisha. I'm not a person who will add more, who will add less. Okay, it will be two means absolutely not even single class extra, single class less. Okay, so this is what. But now my second phase will start. Yes, yes. My second phase will start. What second phase? I will correct your understanding now. Right now you people are typing. I will focus more on listening now, so I can correct you people. So with the passage of 2 months, you should be in a position to talk about technology, right? That is my end target. But I need help from you people actually. Don't judge me, right? Be with me and don't judge yourself also, right? Whatever it means, whether you know local ways, accent is local, no problem. You can talk. Okay. What about assignment, sir? Shall I give you assignment? Shall I give you people assignment? Yes or no? Yes. So now here, first assignment is, what is my first assignment? First assignment is, I want one virtual machine. I want BPC pairing connection. I want BPC pairing, right? Whatever the thing we did, I want you to create virtual machine in one region, virtual machine in another region. I want you to understand connection between them. But, 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 I want virtual. See what I did there. I created default virtual network that day, but I want you to create your own virtual network, your own subnet. Please don't use your default virtual network and subnet. Don't use that. Right? What I want? I want your own virtual network, your own subnet. On that subnet, I want you to create virtual machine number one. Then I want you to create another virtual machine number two. Similar way in your own virtual network, in your own subnet. Then I want you to integrate. Two, three, or four-person. Monday, before starting the session, I'll just randomly take the name. Right? This is your lottery. Right? Randomly take a name. So you need to explain. That's it. Explain for 1.5, 2 minute. 1.5, 2 minute, not for 5, 6, 10 minute. 1.5, 2 minute. Right? So you need to explain. So how you are explaining, I'll check that. According to that, I'll correct. It will be learning for others also. Right? And your confidence will be good because you are talking about something. Right? So this is what my expectation are. And I want you people to configure DB and attach that with the data studio. So in the future, suppose if you need to access the data, if you need to access something, so you should be in a position to access. How you are accessing, that doesn't matter. So you should be in a position to access. That's it. That is the end task. Right? Is it possible like this? Is it possible like this? Choose whatever way you knows. Right? I'm not restricting you to do that. But you should be in a position to access that DB. That's it. Right? So this is my assignment. What will be the takeaway from here? Takeaway will be, I will take randomly three or four names so you can talk whatever you learned. So you need to explore little. Please learn how to answer questions, how to talk about technology. Not, don't try to remember, okay, cow is holy animal, cow have four legs, right? Don't try to remember like this. Understand? Make your own words, make your own sentence. Understand? Is it? Yeah, Sharad. No problem, sir. You can extend the class after 2 months also. Learning is important. Don't worry, Sharad. I'm with you people here always. Whenever you need me, you can. But see here, we are learning here, right? As we are learning here, we should see there should be a stage by stage learning. First, get a job. Learn that much, so you should be in a position to feed yourself, right? Those who are upgrading themselves, upgrade in such a way that you should be in a position to hike yourself, right? That is what. Renu, just wanted to know if there would be a good opportunity for .NET developer for 2 years of experience candidate. As so many people are telling, there will be less opportunity for .NET. I am confused whether to stay the same technology or switch to the same technology. Please remember, origin of each and everything is language. Origin of each and everything is language. So is it mandatory to have a knowledge language? So this is a question. In his lifetime, people need to have overview about language. Which language, sir? It can be .NET, PHP, Java, Python, right? Any. It can be any language knowledge, right? So now you have that. So what that is? That is advantage for you, right? What people are saying, AI will take this. Don't worry. No, no. Now suppose AI is giving you some code. .NET code he's giving you, right? They are giving you. But if you are not in a position to understand that code, will you be able to build something? No, right? You are a person who knows what this code are, why they are using, whether this is secure or not, vulnerability is there or not. So those things you are in a position to check. What about the person who don't have knowledge? He will not be able he will not be in a position to check those. Fair enough. So that's why please don't listen people. Okay, right? We are very political. Don't worry, don't listen people. Your knowledge is good, Renu. There will be opportunity for .NET developer. For developer there will be opportunities always. But if you are learning developer plus these things here, means that will add extra weightage for you, right? And moreover, you people knows already, right? In India you need to be very flexible. You never know where they, in which project they will add you. So you should have vast knowledge. Okay, so okay, take care everyone. So I'm dropping my session here today. Okay, so I'll catch you people on Monday. Please explore, that is my request here. Please explore. Okay, so yeah, so take care everyone. I'll catch you people on a Monday. Monday we will explore little bit more. Bye, thank you Pavan. Okay, Shiv, happy weekend. Sonali, thank you, take care of yourself. And I'll catch you people Monday. Harman, thank you, bye bye. I'm dropping.